everyone, Josh here with X Network, bringing y'all another Outer Plane video, and today we're going to be looking at the new God Stella. We're going to be looking at her skill previews, kind of breaking them down, and talk about her base stats at level 100 and her exclusive equipment to kind of give you a well-rounded idea of just what this unit has to offer. Now, usually I'd like to showcase these heroes using the Ava guide area where you can actually go in and fight the boss, and the boss actually does some damage to you, so you can test some more things both offensively and defensively. But I did not pull her because I do not have very many pulls on my main account here, so I do apologize. I am working on a side account to try and get her that way, but we'll see what happens. But for now, this will have to do. So let's first break down her skill 1, her basic. Attacks all enemies if it is the caster's turn, which means if you do this on a counter attack, for example, it will not give you the one desire to dominate, which you need 5 of to use her ultimate. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health and deals greater damage to boss monsters. And it's also her burst ability. Adds a barrier proportional to health, gains 1 additional desire to dominate, increases damage, extra turn, gains 4 additional desire to dominate. So let's first use her skill 1. Let's see what kind of damage we're pulling out here. Obviously we're not, we don't got no gear or anything. We did 3060 damage. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing with a burst. So we're going to go ahead and do the, honestly, let's just do all of them. Let's just do the full thing. All right, let's do that again. So I believe our attack was 3060. That's how much damage we did beforehand. Let's see what we do after. Okay, so yeah, we added quite a big chunk of damage there. Now we went up to 4900 plus from 3000 plus, so we definitely jumped up quite a bit in damage. Imagine that with really good gear, and yeah, you can see the damage output is definitely going to be pretty significant there on that basic ability. And now you can also see we have our 5 stacks. Now before we use the ultimate, I want to test one more thing. Can you stack beyond 5? Because I didn't really look for that before. Let's see if we can actually stack beyond 5, because if you can stack beyond 5, you can really abuse bosses later on in PvE content if you're building this all up through waves. So let's see if we can actually do that. I'm not sure if we can. It would be kind of crazy though if you could. Okay, so you cannot. So you cannot cheese it. So unfortunately, Smilegate wasn't letting us get too cheesy with her, because if you could do that, that would have been absolutely insane. So it does look like it does limit you to 5. So I guess we'll go ahead and use her ultimate in a moment, but let's talk about her passive and her active that you can't really see in action here today because we don't have the right setup, obviously, because we are in the skill preview and the enemies do not attack. So you will not see Merciless God going off. But weakness gauge reduction 3, cooldown 1 turn, passive effect, immune to stun, frozen, petrified, priority reduction, damage taken from single attacks is reduced by 50%, literally cutting the damage in half. Prepares the revenge effect for every cooldown cycle of the skill, which of course counterattacks when a debuff is inflicted on an ally during an enemy's turn. She will do an AoE counter, which is also going to give her a 25% priority increase, and it also scales to her max health. Absolutely insane. And that is on a 1 turn cooldown. Now her ultimate here, which we're about to do, requires 5 desire to dominate to use a skill, which we already have. Attacks all enemies and inflicts petrified for 1 turn. The petrified effect ignores resilience. Damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's max health and deals increased damage to boss monsters. So let's go ahead and pop the ultimate now, which looks absolutely incredible. It reminds me a bit of a Noble Phantasm from Fate. If you are a big Fate fan, you know what I'm talking about. Very, very cool. So we did 4,400 damage there, and we, of course, petrified everybody. That looks absolutely hilarious, actually. Wow, that's kind of funny. So we kind of saw her in action there. Now, what's interesting, something to note, is this gives you a good comparison of how strong her basic ability can actually be, because her basic ability actually out-damaged her ultimate when you bursted it to at least level 2. Let me test that again on level 2, because level 3, it doesn't say anything about getting additional damage. So let's see if we're doing it again on just level 2. Because obviously that's a big, it's a big gap, and not only not only ascensions and dupes that you need, but obviously AP required. So let's see Yeah, she actually did more damage then as well. She did over 5,300 that time. So you can see that her basic can actually out damage the ultimate based on the small test we did here anyways with a burst active. So that just goes to show that her basic ability is putting out some real damage. All right, now let's go ahead and get out of here. We're going to talk about her base stats really quick. Spoiler alert, they're the exact same as Rona, which I kind of speculated. So, you know, patting myself on the back a little bit there. Let's go to Codex. I believe she's clear down here at the bottom. There she is. All right, so if we go over here, 9,621 at level 100, 1,080 attack. Very good attack stat with good defense, 467. Good HP, 3969. Obviously low speed, but unlike Rona, we don't need her to be fast to be effective. So the speed does not hurt her in any way. 5% crit chance, 150 crit damage, 160 accuracy, which is pretty decent. Very high evasion at 200. Decent effectiveness at 120, which, you know, whatever. And resilience is 190. Now, what's interesting is she doesn't need effectiveness at all, even though she does have a debuff on her ultimate. And the reason why is because it is unconditional. There is no percentage requirement to activate the Petrify. So all you need to do is actually hit the target, because it also ignores resilience. So that's also another, like, you know, who cares? So the only thing you actually need is accuracy, so you don't miss. As long as you don't miss, that enemy is getting petrified, as long as they don't have any kind of immunity to it with like a debuff immunity buff or a boss that has immunity to petrify. So, whoo mama, that is exciting. And we already know about her Transcend, which is insane. She gets 50 freaking action points at the start of battle, which is crazy. Wait, they actually have it worded here weird. Gain 25 and then gain 50? I'm assuming the 50 is with these two included together. I can't believe that's 75. I don't believe it for a minute. If I'm wrong, holy crap, dude. Holy crap. But I'm pretty sure it's just 50 with the 25 and the 25 that this would have given her. I think. I mean, if it's 75, that's insane, dude. All allies, team defense plus 10%. First level 3 unlocked. Ally barriers at the start of the battle for 1 turn, which is huge because that basically sets up for a possible stall meta coming to PvP when we do, of course, get enough people with a 6-star god Stella, and it's also proportional to the target's health. So there is that. Very, very cool stuff with the Transcendence. Very cool. By the way, it doesn't let me show you in here. I don't know why it doesn't work in the Codex, but since she is a striker hero, she also gets a little bonus here as well. All heroes get a bonus based on their class, and it's different for each one. But let's take my Edith, for example. Let's look right here, and we'll see that she will generate 5 action points at the start of the turn, generates 20 action points when attacking, which should also work on her counterattack, on her passive. I do believe it should anyways. I could be incorrect on that, but she is attacking technically, so it should work, I think. And then she increases her critical hit chance by 5%. Now, let's talk about her exclusive equipment real quick before we get out of here. Let's go to gear. Down here, I believe she's the final one. There it is. Reduces dark damage taken by 20%. Now, remember, she's reducing dark damage taken by 20% on top of reducing damage by 50% from single target attacks with her passive. So, if you're fighting any enemies that are dark, that are doing single target damage to her, she's going to be tanking that like nothing, man. Absolute insanity. When using Flight of Abraxas, which is her basic ability, she's also going to gain 20 action points. Now, this might not seem like anything too thrilling, but this could allow her to have some crazy good burst consistency in both PvP and PvE. Because remember, we're going to be building her super fast, super tanky with lots of damage. So she will be getting hit. And if she's running an AP talisman, for example, especially the one that if you get hit with AoE, you can get up to like, I think it goes up to like, what, 60, 70 AP or something crazy like that. On top of the AP that she's already generating, on top of the exclusive equipment, you might be able to do a burst level 1 or 2 on your initial attack inside of PvP and in PvE consistently on multiple occasions, depending on how long the fight is, with something like this on her. So she has so much versatility in what she offers your team, both as being tanky and as a bruiser, doing heavy DPS. So I don't know, man. I'm really liking this hero a lot. I hope I pour on my main account sooner than later. Obviously, I will get her before the 3 months is up, no matter what, but I would like to pull, of course, additional copies along the line there. So we'll see what happens, but let me know what y'all think about this new badass hero in the comment section below. Be happy to read as many as I can. Don't forget to like, tick notifications, subscribe to the channel, drop by in our Discord in the description below as always, and of course follow us on Twitter at X's Network, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.